Hello, everyone. Jeff from RespawnStudios.com here with an Alan Wake's American Nightmare full walkthrough. I'm going to try and commentate most of it, but I don't know if I can commentate for a few hours. I don't know if there's that much to say, so I might just leave it to the game's audio. But at least want to give you some introductory things and some tips about how to generally play the game. For anyone that might not have played the first Alan Wake, which happens to be my all-time favorite game, this is not really a sequel. It's a sort of side story, but it does add on to the story of the first game. So I suggest you play that too. It's not necessary, but it's definitely worth playing. To me, it is necessary because the first game is so good. But anyway, the story in this game, that's your literary agent, Barry Wheeler, and he's dreaming of this episode of Night Springs that you wrote, Alan Wake, the horror writer, wrote, and now it's like coming to life, essentially. And one of the really cool things about this, versus the original game, they've incorporated even more live-action cutscenes, which is awesome. All of the characters in the game are full models of actual people, and they're all voiced by those actual people. So it's kind of like a natural transition, so that's kind of amazing too. This guy is Alan Wake, the voice and everything. That is your doppelganger, your sort of evil half, Mr. Scratch. And basically the premise behind Alan Wake is there are some places in the world where words and sort of creative means like art have power, and they could change reality based on what is being said. That stuff starts to come to fruition. It actually starts to happen. And Mr. Scratch has come out of that darkness world that exists to try and basically kill everyone and mess things up. So Alan Wake is trying to write it to be good again. He's trying to write a new kind of reality. So this is how the game starts. You are waking up in this sort of darkness haze. The controls are very simple. Move with the left thumbstick, look around with the right thumbstick, standard. You hold down left bumper to run. You hold down left trigger to aim, right trigger to shoot. X is reload. You could change weapons or your sort of equipment, which are flares or flashbangs, using the D-pad. And B is like pick up and different like door open actions. So you saw there, I burned away the darkness. That's the main gameplay mechanic, if you, again, are not familiar with the game. Enemies generally cannot be harmed until you burn away the darkness. There's new enemy type that are spiders that you could just kill by shooting them in general or shining a light on them for a given amount of time. They don't have to have a darkness sort of shield burned away, but most enemies do. You'll know when it's burned away. They have a circle that starts large and then gets smaller and smaller till it bursts, and that means once it bursts they could take damage. The graphics are also really good, if you haven't noticed. Especially for an arcade game, it's remarkable. It's just like the main game itself. And it's also very long and much more detailed than most arcade games. It's probably about a 5-hour story mode. So here's one of the other cool things, the manuscript pages. These are, in the first game, there were things that he didn't remember writing. In this game, they are things that, again, he sort of doesn't remember because he's in this sort of darkness haze. He's trapped in the alternate reality. And he has these pages to help him remember what's going on and what he has to do. So if you find these, they do help the story. They help you unlock different guns. They help you unlock some things for arcade mode. So they're not just a random collectible. They do have significance throughout. And they're all fully voiced by Alan Wake, which is really nice. The game also takes place across 3 major areas. The first is this motel, oil rig sort of area. The second is an observatory to look at constellations, the stars. And then the final area is a drive-in movie theater. And this is where you start, the motel. Here comes some darkness enemies. The narrator is speaking right now. The narrator is also a good voice actor. The one thing I don't like about this game, when I love every single other tiny aspect, there are 3 main women characters in this game. The second one you meet at the observatory has a horrible voice actress. She just like has no emotions. Oh my god. It's like difficult to listen to. And it particularly stands out when everything else is so like high class and great standards, and then there's that. Alright, so I think I'm just going to let the rest of this speak for itself. Hope you enjoy the game audio and watching me screw up when I do. I'll come back in probably at the start of part 2 then to give you some more advice. I'm also picking up some of the side manuscript pages that aren't needed, but again, they do help. Like here is one of the boxes you can unlock with manuscript pages. But okay, I'll leave you to the game audio, and there we get our first achievement. All right, I'll see you next time. Hope you enjoy and hope you continue watching. Please let me know by liking the video or leaving a comment if you'd like to see more, but I'll try and make more anyway, just because I love this game. All right, see ya.
Hey, it's you. There. You remember me, right? Emma? Emma Sloan?
I think you might have something that belongs to me.
Really?
A typewritten page?
Oh, yeah, that's weird. I did find a page like that. I don't even know where it came from. It was all this weird stuff about the oil derrick and a satellite.
Yes, that's what I'm looking for.
Oh, I don't know how you knew I had it, but I guess it's yours. Listen, what's this all about? There are these really creepy guys hanging around the oil derricks. There's something really weird about them.
They're dangerous. I'm gonna deal with them. Try to stay out of their sight, okay? And stay in the light. They hate the light. At the oil derrick, the wheel had been jammed in place and turned until the oil gurgled and flowed thick and flammable. The warning lights were blinking in a fast rhythm, bright and steady, powered by the battery. The Kasabian CD was playing in the boombox, all distorted guitars and intense beat. High above, some piece of orbital junk or another collided with the satellite, knocking it radically off course. Trailing debris, it screamed down from the skies at an impossibly steep angle. All that high-tech engineering reduced to nothing more than a bullet that would destroy whatever it hit. Just to be clear, you should know that we haven't actually met before.
Sure we have, Mr. Wake. Remember you stayed at the motel here.
No, the guy you're talking about just looks like me, even if he uses my name. He's behind all this trouble.
Oh, I thought, now that you mention it, I guess your aura looks a lot nicer than his, actually. I'm very sensitive to things like that.
There's a bunch of stuff I need to find.
The things mentioned on that page? Well, there's a lot of old crap lying around this place.
Great, thanks.
I think you should be able to find everything, except the satellite, obviously. Are you gonna tell me what this is?
I don't think that'd go over too well.
Why don't you let me be the judge of that?
Fine. The page is a formula for rewriting reality. Either I use it to close a strange portal to a place that isn't in our world, or shadowy serial killer monster things keep pouring out of there.
Yeah, you were right the first time.
You can think what you want about me, but there's still bad guys around. Be careful.
Well, you might be nuts, but I've seen the way they move, the way they look. I'll buy that.
They're called Taken. They aren't really human. Not anymore.
And they're climbing out of the oil well? What, do they have secret headquarters down there, or...?
No, that's just where the point of connection is. It's a hole that leads to, well, it's a really nasty place. That's why I need to close it.
And the guy who looks like you opened it, because he was hanging around the oil field before.
He gets around, unfortunately. Thanks for helping me.
Oh, I wish I thought you were just a nutcase.
Actually, I kind of expected you to.
Me too. But I feel like this is how it's supposed to go. Isn't that weird?
Not really. I get that a lot in my line of work.
What do you do anyway?
I'm a writer.
Obviously.
What was that you said about my aura?
Oh, I'm very spiritual, you know. I can see auras, but I only use it for healing and helping people. I'm like a wise woman, you know? I give people insight and advice.
Look, just because I say crazy things doesn't mean I believe everything.
Don't be like that. Maybe you should take a few crystals with you if you're going out there. It might be dangerous. They soothe your energies and focus your mind. It's fantastic.
And they help me take out the bad guys?
Oh, well, no, not as such.
Yeah, okay. I think I'm...
Or I have some wonderfully potent herbal detox suppositories.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
The Champion of Light recognizes the page he got from the woman. It is a weapon of his own design, custom engineered to destroy the Dark Portal. If he recreates the conditions of the page, a great power will be unleashed.
Well, here you are, about to enjoy another cool Arizona night with me, Eddie Rodman, the host with the boast. Hey, any of you guys remember Old Gods of Asgard? Man, I actually saw them twice back in the 70s. I was just a kid then, but my dad worked at this club, and he'd sneak me in to see bands all the time. You know how it is. Talk about an education. Anyway, great band, couple of great albums, solid fan base, and then they kind of dropped off the face of the earth. Well, now, almost 4 decades later, they're making a comeback. And let me tell you, these boys have seen a lot of road. There's some serious rock and roll veterans, because they weren't too young even back in the day. Well, now I've got Odin and Tor Anderson, 2 of the original Old Gods, in the studio with me, along with their manager, Barry Wheeler. Nice to have you guys here.
Oh, hey, it's great to be here, Eddie.
Yeah, hey.
Hello!
Now, boys, let me just come out and say this, all right? Spring chickens, you ain't. I mean, you guys, you make the Stones look young.
You're only as old as you feel.
Who you calling old?